We're just going to go straight in. Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me.
Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things.
You guys have energy for the sex topic.
It's been lockdown, you know.
That's your truth. That's the truth. So what have we... Okay, first of all, let's talk about how did we see sex, young guys, now that we're grown-ass people. How has it changed over the years? How we even view sex as a thing, as a perspective? Who wants to get in there?
I don't know. I'll let Ariette start.
I think everything changes, to be honest with you, because obviously you have a level of maturity towards sex. Attitude towards sex is completely different. I think even like when we talk about oral sex, for example, now as an adult compared to when we was young,
yeah, like what was you taught as a young child about oral sex?
You do not give oral sex. Like, oral sex was for skets. Yeah, oral, like that was like the forbidden sex, sexual pleasure that you give your partner. So and I think it's a lot within our community now. I mean, it's breaking. Well, it's breaking a lot.
I think some men still.
I don't do that. Yeah. Big taboo. But
taboo. I think they were just pretending. If I'm entirely honest, like I think at the beginning, a lot of guys thought it was very dirty, or they would be seen as dirty if they were doing things like that. Same
with girls.
Yeah. So that's just what. But I think them niggas are still doing it anyway.
I think Jamaican men, even till today,
they say it. But
they say
that man don't want.
But we all know that.
No, I know some guys that actually don't do it.
But the thing is,
but how do you know for sure that
I don't? But they swear by it.
That's bollocks.
But the thing is, I understand.
No, but man will be open with man, innit? Your boys would be open with
like,
you.
If I'm talking to them about it, they're like,
even their wife, the person that they're with. I understand. Giving all sex to people like that casually, I don't.
Is this still really?
I find it weird. I find it weird, but there are some people that have never explored that with each other. So, and these are big ass adults.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. No, like no. Like our parents' generation.
No,
the way they view sex.
Get out of my head.
Versus, like we are a very liberated generation.
So do you think like your mum and dad were part?
Fam. That is not the
trying to put in my head.
No.
You trying to put in my head.
Back in the day with our parents,
it's in my head. Get out.
I need to go throw up.
Our parents could have been even like bigger freaks than we.
It's true.
Remember, things were never spoken. That's the only difference. People weren't public speaking about these type of things. Even if you was like in church or Christian, no one spoke about it.
Why is it vulgar?
I find it kind of like
even public displays of affection. Like some older generations, they don't want to talk about. They don't want to do kissing in public.
Yeah, even hugging and stuff. You don't really see them showing affection.
Fish
like
and chips love, as my dad would say.
Fish and chips.
Stop all this fish and chips love. You know, public affection.
But
you know, like traditional old school Nigerian.
Yeah.
Even Ghanaian men, they're just African men. I think old
my dad's I love you is No,
even as it pertains to my kids, my dad did not tell. The first time I heard my dad say "I love you," I was 28 years old, and he didn't even say "I love you." He said "I love all my children." So I guess I'm included is what he was referring to. So how that older generation explored love and affection is completely different. Like I feel like we're a very sensitive generation. That sensitivity kind of spreads across various different facets of our lives, including sex.
Could you be with someone that doesn't give oral sex?
No.
Could you be with someone that doesn't give oral sex? If the D game was a game?
Yeah.
Okay, but if the D game
was... If you're not missing it.
But the D game was about...
Yeah, but you don't know what you're not missing. You don't know if you don't have it, if you know what I mean. If they don't give it, then you wouldn't know to miss it.
What's your preference?
What you don't have.
You as a woman, and that's something that you like, and obviously your partner doesn't want to do that.
There's other stuff you can do. I don't think that would be a
deal breaker.
A deal breaker for me.
What about yourself?
It wouldn't be a deal breaker.
She doesn't want to give. She doesn't believe in giving head, or she doesn't like doing
I'm
that.
stepping out.
Deal breaker. You as well, Michael.
See, I'm not the biggest fan of receiving oral personally.
What?
Because I just feel
Everyone
like
is different.
I just feel like a lot of girls are violent with it. They don't know what they did. They just I need this shit to be done gently. I need you to be doing it gently. You can't be.
As you say that.
So because of that, fam, I'm not your school teacher. Learn this. I'm at a stage in my life. I want a girl who is a bit more.
I had a girl that could not suck dick for shit.
And you taught her?
And I taught her.
Good for you.
And she was the best
I don't have that
thing
level
ever.
of patience.
I had that patience.
Having said all of that, I'll feel some type of way if you say you don't do it. Like, what if one day I kind of,
I
want it. I need it on the table.
There are times you as a human, as a man, like you feel dirty. You just want to go home and grab
get nasty.
I was going to say bitch's head, sorry. You just want to grab your girl's head and just slam it on your nuts.
Exactly.
Wow.
Literally. No, there are moments.
Wait a minute.
There's different types. There's different types.
It's a theme. Like some girls just want to get. They don't want to make love. They want their man to come home and backshot them.
Like foreplay, you guys do this exciting stuff. Like, you know, you dress up as a police officer, whatever. Like, it's exciting. But
police officer, she likes authority.
I mean, it's her go-to.
Bad girl. You have nothing to say. You have the right to remain silent.
You have to keep a relationship interesting, and like I really feel like sometimes, you know, some men will be, you know, they want to go off with, like, I don't know, a stripper or whatever, when they have a woman at home that can just do everything.
But there's a level to that. There's a level to that.
Do you know what the thing about men?
Because we're quite. I'm a very visual person, so if I come home and you're just backing out twerking, I'll be thinking, yeah, but you like.
No, but that's not
the twerking.
Like your wife should be a freak.
She's got to be a freak, but then I'll start thinking, where did you learn that from?
But there are certain things. It's like, do you know what the thing as a man? You know when you have
DIY, do it yourself.
You know when you have like a woman, this is your queen, this is your bae. Like you hold her in high esteem. I can't just put.
This is wrong.
If I'm
no,
driving,
but that's wrong.
listen.
Though. This is the reason why.
Can you let me
no,
finish?
I can't. But I'll let you finish.
Go on. Yes,
Like
you hold them.
I can't just be driving on the motorway and then take my girl's head and just slam it. It's like like there are certain girls.
I don't know about the slamming.
You know
I like that shit though.
You know.
I'm
just saying the way you look at it.
You can be like, you know.
So would you want her to just be a princess? It's nice.
Would you like her to say to you, do you mind
missionary
slipping down your pants?
That's funny about
Ejaculate
men.
you.
Men don't realise, no women that you guys are with, some of them are freaks as well.
No.
So sometimes you feel like, the thing is, I know what you're trying to say, there's a sense that you want, you're more tender. I don't know.
I'm over that shit now anyway.
More respect. It's more of a respect thing. But there's things, for example, like you're driving and your girl giving you oral sex. Some girls will do that.
That shit is
No,
amazing.
most girls will do
That
it.
shit is amazing.
Most girls will do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the perception. Because it's like a whole vibe, you know?
Wow.
I'm just saying, that's how
Alright, cool. Can I? But it is a whole vibe. We add to that because you got to think of it. Like me as a man, I watch porn because.
So you wouldn't want your woman to be like that?
No, my girl has to be a hoe, but a hoe for me. So,
Obviously.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, that's what I say. But when I said slamming on my nuts, that's because I'm in that mood. I woke up today thinking I just want to mishandle her.
Yeah.
You understand? I was gonna say something else, but
Sometimes she wants to be mishandled by you.
but sometimes
But
it's
I
like,
feel bad because I'm supposed to protect you right now. I'm about to fuck this shit up. Just slam her against the wall, turn her around,
this girl, like,
terrorize that booty.
But in saying that, I wanted to say off the back of you saying some girls don't know how to give oral. I have a friend who actually practices with a dildo.
Ew.
And she told me that she watches this YouTube page. I don't know, guys. Maybe we could put a link down below.
No, don't put a
Of
link.
this
Do not
person
put a
who
link.
teaches how to give head. And that's dedication to the cause as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
She has a dildo. And then there's even this technique. Apparently you put flour on the dildo to make sure if you leave teeth marks, then you know that you're biting your being, you're doing too much teeth. So, guys,
That's a
I
headline.
learned.
You get some head. You get some head. You get some head.
even at my big age, I'm learning. I'm still learning.
There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you've got each to their own. But I feel like when you've got your husband or your partner, someone that you're with, I think it's okay for you to explore different things with that partner.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
essential.
Yeah.
Freakiness.
And you keep the
I know it's freakiness, like leave it. Like sometimes try, you want to be aggressive.
Yeah.
She might like that.
it.
No, the
Or
thing
she
is,
might not.
She
no,
might
the reality
not. I'm not gonna
is, I know, of course, women want that stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't watch porn with my girl
Nor can I.
because I
Nor
think
can
it's
I.
a bit. Like,
bit
it's a
weird.
bit intrusive.
But why are you
Yeah.
even watching porn?
I don't like to watch
Alright,
porn,
cool.
to be fair.
Why am I watching porn? That is a good question.
I feel like porn is a very
Do you know what it
personal
is?
thing.
There's sometimes I don't want to fuck.
Huh?
Yeah. There's sometimes I
So
don't
you
want
just
to have
watch
sex.
porn for
No,
entertainment?
because okay, I can say that not a
Or
lot of
to
people
masturbate.
admit, to masturbate because
Okay.
we might like women, they might get their urges, but they necessarily don't want to have sex. So as a man, sometimes as men, well, I speak for myself. There's times when I don't want to have sex, but I'm in that mood.
I'm in that mood.
So you
Because it's like the cooling, yo, what you doing? Get changed, get bathed. Sometimes I just want to.
She's in your house.
But that's stress, man.
Yeah, but
I feel like.
Sometimes it's stress in the
Sometimes you
sense
just
of
want to
like.
be with your hand.
Yeah, man.
That's
Just want to be with.
it.
I just want to be with Ryan. I just want to be with Ryan.
Man said Ryan.
He named it.
named this
Don't
A
ever-
Ryan
don't ever
airline.
shake
A
my
man
hand
name.
A
again.
Ryan
Don't
airline.
ever touch me. You get
Ryan airline.
And it's that hand, guys.
Arm of God.
No. I use my right hand to hold the screen.
Yo, man.
No, but I feel like for a lot of men. For me, I feel like I live a very high-paced, like stressful life. Like my work requires me to be on my toes, which means I need to bust multiple times a day. You ain't got time to be. I need to bust at least 2-3 times a day. I ain't got time to be. You know, it's not every single. It's not every single bust that I need to have sex to do it.
When you was younger, how was masturbation seen as for guys? Like, was it like, oh, you masturbate, or has that changed over the years as you come up?
My relationship with
like,
masturbation has completely changed because I grew up in church and I felt I was made to feel bad for it. Like, you're the same hands you're gonna come use to play the piano. You use that thing to be.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time
cool.
I started masturbating, I think I took the piss. I violated myself. I just carried on doing it until I didn't have no cum anymore.
Whoa. So once you realize,
I locked myself in the bathroom. I think I came back from So what happened? Because what happened, you know, like sometimes I've got that addictive kind of character. So when I like something, I'll do it too. I can't do it anymore.
so did you break it?
I didn't, but I got like carpet burn and shit. You know, like, so like. No. So like, I remember because it was my old house, and the living room was like next to.
He said carpet.
The living room was next to the bathroom on the same floor. So I remember one time, like, my mum was like, go and bath. It's time to bath, and I was like, okay, cool. Primary school times, and you know, it's after sex education, they say yes. You know how you do it is you get a bar of soap, get something lubricant, and you know. So I was like, no, I'll never do this. I live with so and so. It's impossible. So I remember everyone was in the living room, and I thought, yes, this is the perfect time. So I ran to the bathroom, locked the door, put the clothes basket, you know, like put it there, blocked it so that someone hits the door, I'll get like 2 seconds break. Right? Sat in the bath, I was washing myself, and I knew this was gonna happen, but I kept on delaying it. Like, I kept on delaying it, like, yo, like. So I saw the dick, saw the Dove soap. Thinking, yeah, cool. I thought, okay, this is a bit nuts. But, all right. Then when I was about to explode, I was like, oh! I was like, what's going on in there? I was like, nah, nothing. And I passed. And obviously I passed, it was like, it went everywhere. And I cleaned up, and I came out, I felt like a man. And but that was like obviously from that day, I kept on going back and forth. I was in there all
How
the
old
time.
were you?
He was clean every day.
13.
Yeah, so for me, it was a very different.
13.
Mine was so weird.
It was disgusting.
Mine was
That's
so
like crazy.
weird, yeah. It was so, oh my
You
god.
finished playing keyboard.
But in church,
Mine was so
he left
weird.
church.
I don't know what it was, but I had like, you know, I had one of these beds. I don't know, like, it was like it had two like mattresses in like on both
What?
sides of it. So I had this space in the middle.
What, you had to fuck your bed? This
Your bed.
guy's a madman.
Literally.
I couldn't think of it.
I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that my hand would produce the same result. I didn't know that yet.
Wow.
So you
Man, I'm the bed.
Wow.
You're disgusting.
I'm learning today.
So when did you jizz? You jizzed on the bed.
So your heart
Got through the hole.
So you just stayed there.
He's probably still there right now.
Funny.
You take it away. There's got feces and everything.
did
that was
anyone's
funny.
parents have times with them where they'd sit and actually talk about sex with you? Like, did anyone's parents do
Just
that?
the whole sex education, the generic, very, like was it the calendar month, like the period,
period.
the period, and this
Stuff
is
like that.
when a girl will get pregnant and da-di-da.
Oh, your mum spoke with you like that.
My dad as well.
Yeah. And your
It was
dad?
my mum and dad.
That's nice.
They both spoke.
Parents don't do that with boys.
There
do they?
wasn't.
I never had.
No, the only thing that my dad ever said
But
to
there
me is
wasn't
that,
like sex. No, it was more about the
period.
body.
Husband and wife.
I think both men and females feel like having great sex is performance, you know, it's,
Slamming.
you know, it's slamming and roughness, and a woman is like, you know, riding and, you know, like.
Do we get that from
Yeah,
porn? Do we get that from
Porn
porn?
scroll.
And porn, it's like there's not the reality between, well, the reality and porn life is not. It's not
porn is not
it's-
reality.
Porn is not reality.
Porn is not
basically.
sex.
And I
Why can't it be a reality?
What I'm saying, but what I'm trying to say is,
perform.
I don't want
but
that.
this is what I'm saying. But you think sometimes you are there performing, but the girl is moaning, but she's not really enjoying it. It's fun, but she's not really. I feel like when you take time,
Not sharing life with me,
I'm
boy,
saying
but yeah.
when you take time to really get to know that person's body, and like that goes both ways, to really know, like, you know, sometimes some people are sensitive on their nipples. Sometimes some people are sensitive on their balls.
Yeah.
Some people might be like their ears.
Yeah.
But people have different G spots
true.
around their body, right? And even through, like, for example, within oral sex, the clitoris is very like sensitive, and some men don't know how to give oral sex because they don't understand a woman's
That person should be
vagina
put in a bin.
and G spots. Even like there's men that just through penetration, even fingering. I'm not a fan of fingering.
Yeah, but can I ask why girls don't like that?
But because
men don't know how to do it.
because you haven't even studied. There's a G spot in a woman's vagina, inside a woman's vagina.
Yeah.
If you're able, it's very rare, hard to
So
to find
find it.
It's like 2 inches
understand?
on the front.
But you have to take
Of the
time.
thing.
You can't just be rough. You know, you have to really you have to study. When you study the body, and then, you know, listen, you have the most amazing sex. But people are just too keen on like performance. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to her hard. I'm gonna ride him. You know, and people don't really
smash.
take time.
Slam the face.
That's why.
You girls are conscious about their facial. How am I looking? What am I gonna wear?
Yeah, but that's part of the
It's a
performance,
whole-
though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But sometimes we get in our head about that, and then the performance is crap because you're thinking, oh my god, is my hair?
I'm not gonna
like,
lie,
how's my
I
face?
feel
How's
sexy.
should I arch my back? Like, is my fat roll showing?
All of that is
it's
good.
all in your head.
You have to think like that, because as a man, when we're looking at a woman, just as much as a woman likes, you know, smells a guy to look a certain way, that's how a man is looking at a woman. I want a woman to look and appreciate herself.
When you guys think you guys look nice, when you guys are going.
Me personally speaking,
don't
if I
look
come,
nice.
I don't like to look at it. I put my head in the pillow. You can't see my face.
In the
'Cause
pillow,
that's
you know,
disgusting.
excuse
Like,
me.
I don't want.
I think that's
You want to put your head in the
Why would
pillow?
you?
Nah, you better
You know
look into
this?
my
Have
eyes
you
while
ever
I'm
seen
done.
your face when you're coming?
Bruv, I need you to see.
What?
You better look into my eyes.
Nah, man, that
Damn
shit,
it.
that's gross.
That's not gross.
They got, "Urgh," and she's just looking at you like.
But in the same way, when she's there about to come and she's twitching about to cut the Holy Ghost, you look at your eyes are like this. Like, I love that shit. If her eyes ain't rolling back, you ain't hearing it right.
Isn't
I
it,
swear to
right?
God.
It's demasculating.
You need to listen. Huh?
It's, you know,
Demasculating,
a girl watching me roll my eyes in the back of my head.
No, not me. The woman,
Oh, okay,
your
cool.
woman needs to be
But
rolling
if you
her
do
eyes.
it, it's
Come on.
natural. It's normal because you react.
Say like, don't look
Nah,
at me.
nah.
Don't look at
That's-
me.
yeah.
I get them serious, but like, I get them loud. That good shit.
Oh my gosh. I think that's what's changed for me from
Amen.
being younger to getting older. Is it was more of a performance thing back in the day, and I saw everything as so like, it's almost like there was a script to it,
Like
like how
porn.
it goes, and there's a rhythm, and this is what happens next,
Yeah.
and blah blah blah.
Where did we
And
get
then-
that idea?
also-
Like, where
I
did
don't
we
even
get
know.
those ideas from?
I don't even know.
just
Maybe
talking to
talking with
people,
others.
talking to others.
Talking and hearing
Peers.
other people's experiences,
Yeah.
and we all sort of moulded this thing that happens. You do the foreplay, and
Peers.
it goes to this and this. And
It's
this. But then as
definitely
I've got older, I've realised actually it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't matter. Like
No, it still does matter.
It's freestyle.
It's your own personal.
It matters.
it matters between you and that person.
As well. I think
Exactly.
when you like, you can have sex with anyone, but you're gonna have certain experiences with someone that you're really into, and it's like an exchange of your like energy and you know, like you can just fuck. There's fucking and there's like love making and sex and really feeling that person. Wanting to please that person, because some guys they just want to come and don't even care about the woman.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's true. You're a giver, a taker.
I've been like that once upon a time in my
Giver
life,
or
you know.
taker.
But a woman.
Don't get it, just want to smash and grab, you know?
Nah.
wow.
No, once upon a time.
I need you to remember this shit.
No, but
So you're about creating an experience in the
fuck yeah.
bedroom.
So I'll
You
give
need
her.
to-
You give her.
Fuck yeah. I
No,
need you to
see-
remember.
we can be givers, but
For a
there's
long
also
time.
sometimes you have to understand. I see it's all very good and like, oh yeah, I like to be pleased, but there are times when you don't want to go the full length. You just want to do what you want to do.
It wouldn't be the first.
there are
It wouldn't be
times.
the first few times of having sex. Like the first few times of having sex, I need to establish the.
And also,
I know what I'm doing.
that whole
That
point of
point,
pleasing as
yeah,
well. You
yeah,
can't
it
give
is.
that to every woman.
Yeah.
There are girls that I've been with and I just want to beat because there was an enormous bum and I was just like, I need to conquer it. You know,
Wow.
you know, whatever you call it, Christopher Columbus on that shit and then
my
get
gosh.
out. But there are the partners I've been with that I think, yeah, you know, I actually want to please this girl because I want her to remember me. Do you understand? You don't care. That's the difference between someone that you don't rate and someone that you do rate. I can't be making passionate love and doing 112 to every single girl.
112.
Peaches and cream and all that.
Man said 112. You know.
Do you think
Sometimes I just want to do DMX and get the fuck
Oh
out.
wow.
Wow.
Your analogy is
No, but at our age that we are now,
Today.
at our age that we are now, there's certain things we expect that people should just know in the bedroom, and things that we're just like, no.
You
I
say
will,
that.
I will never teach them this. Like it should be known at our age,
Like
in
knowing,
our
like knowing
30s.
how to kiss, for example.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
there is nothing worse than a woman who cannot kiss.
Tell them
What is
can't
that?
kiss
At this age,
Like
at this
I don't
big
want to have to
age.
teach you that.
This is how-
One, two. We start with the 1-2 thing, and then she like, bitch, calm the fuck down.
Eating in your whole face.
Nah, that will finish me. It's
Okay,
finished. It will
kissing
finish
for you,
it.
yeah.
It's not going
There's
anywhere.
when you kiss, there is a sense of some people, like a man does take leadership as well. Like when you know what I mean?
vomited in my mouth.
Like you kind of compliment.
Just
It's
thinking
weird. I
about
can't.
Yeah, it's like
I think you
a
can tell a
real-
lot
you
from
can-
a kiss.
She's happy. She's like,
She's like, you're taking it back.
At the end of the day, you know.
No, I think there is a lot you can establish through someone and how they kiss.
100%.
I think kissing is very
It's
intimate.
communication.
It's very
It's
intimate.
communication.
Yeah.
You have
For a
to.
long time.
It's like you're communicating each other without actually saying anything. I
Yeah.
need to see which direction.
Yeah.
It's like dancing salsa. Like I need to see which direction your lips is
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to meet you in
Yeah.
that direction. You know what I'm saying?
How you use your lip,
You
if
know
there's
what
too
I'm
much
saying? It has
tongue,
to
if
be-
there isn't too much, like,
And
it
even
can tell a
that,
lot.
even when we're ready to do the tongue, it has to be.
In sync.
Yes, it has to be in sync. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? People do not understand
maybe
that
because
it's
you just don't click with certain people.
True.
Like, for
or
example,
they
I'm not gonna lie.
for example, I can't have sex with people.
But you could teach them how
Like
to
you know,
kiss.
like for
That's
example,
long.
like sometimes like there's people that you can enjoy having sex with anyone that you find attractive. I have to really be comfortable with you and know you for like
Yeah,
a while.
that's true.
And like have like not feelings for you, but just. Do you
You
get
have
what
to
I mean?
develop a form of an attachment.
Yeah, like it's like I have to be your friend. Like it's
Before
almost
you
like,
can have sex with
yeah,
someone.
otherwise I don't enjoy it. I can't have sex with just like not a random like a random
Without
person
feeling
or someone that does
And
not
that's
for
true.
like.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like, do you get what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? It's like I feel, but
I
that's
feel
just
like
me.
you can have
because
sexual.
I feel like
you can have sexual chemistry with somebody without actually liking them.
like that.
Yeah.
I can have sex. I could like you can have great sex with somebody who you have. Just the sexual chemistry is there. We have a sexual understanding of what I'm about to do to your life and vice versa. We don't want this to proceed any further, but we about to fuck this shit up.
yeah.
I
I
think
think, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I think we said that all at the same time. No, go for it. Go for it.
What I was gonna say is, do you feel like there are? I don't like to really because it might be a sensitive topic. To some
No,
people, but I feel like we
please.
should
I
talk
like
about it because
sensitive.
because it's educational. Because at the end of the day, like we're going to have partners that may not be able to perform in sex. Not everyone's able to perform during sex. And
Perform as we would like.
as how we would like. You know, I think like for example, like orally, I think oral is not like a massive thing in a sense where, for me anyways, where if we're having good sex, like oral, to be honest with you, I'm not saying I don't like it. Like I would like that, but it's not like the biggest
Yeah.
deal breaker in that sense. But for example, when it comes to intercourse, for example, what happens if the sex is dead and you do love that person, and do you feel like you can have a relationship?
I can't fall
Be
in
very
love.
honest, could you
I
have a
can't fall in
relationship
love with you before I
someone?
know that the sex is great. Like how?
Could you? But
Yeah,
can
I
you stay
think
with
you
someone
could. I think you could stay
I
with
couldn't.
someone.
Yeah,
Personally, I couldn't.
I could.
if the sex was dead?
Wow.
Be real.
When you say dead, how dead could it be?
Okay,
Nah, that sex-
you can have.
Okay, so be more.
I don't know.
I'm not
Sorry.
gonna say specific.
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
You can have.
Be more to
bad
the point.
sex.
Be more to the point.
So
Bad sex.
I know what she's saying.
It could be too.
Small dick.
It might be that
it doesn't last long enough.
And some people have even problems like rising, like
well,
getting
that's the whole
hard and things
problem.
like that.
That's the whole
Do you
problem.
understand?
Because it can't even begin.
Let's be sensitive. Let's be
Let's
sensitive to the guys and the people out there that have either girls that have bucket pussies.
Oh my gosh.
Or guys that have small penises.
Was that you being sensitive?
Sometimes, but then there's guys that have good penis, good sized penises.
I was trying
but
to
don't know how to
be.
use them.
Yeah.
There's guys the guys with good sized penises, but still do not know how to.
I like to call myself the porridge.
get what I'm trying to say?
Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
Lord.
That's what Lela was saying earlier, that you're like, if oral sex is no good, you haven't got time for it, you were saying.
He's called porridge. I call him porridge.
Yeah. And they tell me, oh, I'm not into that. And I'm like, that's great, but I would want my partner to be like that.
Yeah.
But if I'm already with him, and he decides that he doesn't want to do, I wouldn't cheat on him because he's not going to give me oral sex. If we're not going to have a good sex life, then what are we doing here?
Sex is so important.
That's what I was trying to say.
I can run away from a girl after one performance. Because I can tell straight away.
100%.
I'm not going to lie.
100%.
Obviously, story time, guys.
Story time.
So, obviously, saw this girl buff thing, whatever, and got down to the performance, and I was just like, her pussy was just wide like the parted ocean. I felt like I was just swimming inside. I didn't say nothing. Obviously, she was having a whale of a time, and I was just like, I need to come. Couldn't come because there was no grip. It was just slippery, sliding, whatever.
But there are toys out there, by the way.
Why am I putting up what I support?
No, you're saying the toy to help them.
Some stuff you can actually use to tighten the JJ.
There are some girls out there that don't want to admit that they have expired
but they may not know,
or the last station is just gone, but they will not say any other guy that they probably sleep with, they'll be like, oh yeah, I need a big dick nigga, but you've been worn out, the tires are beyond the tread, you need to.
You think they have why they have natural?
No, but it's
what if it's like not because they had loads of sex with different guys?
But there's operations you can get, designer pussies and stuff.
Oh, but talking about designer, no, let's stop.
This toy is almost like surgery, probably even better.
But do you not think it's right for women to be educated about this?
Yeah, women should talk about something.
So did you tell her at the end? That's what I want to know. Did you actually say to her?
Of course you can't say.
So how would she
I'm
meant
gonna
to
say
know?
your pussy walls are loose.
Exactly.
We wouldn't go to a guy and say, oh, you have a small dick.
No, but they know. They will. They will.
If it was enjoyable, sorry, I think I would.
No, if a girl's got a stretched out pussy, any dick that goes in there.
Can you stop saying it like that? You make it sound so
Okay,
awful.
think of a better terminology, please.
A widened vagina.
Okay.
Was
There's no nice way to say it.
Was that
trying to make it better?
A widened vagina.
Expired meat.
Not expired meat, Mark.
You see, because
meat.
a lot of times people think just having a tight vagina is the only thing that makes sex unenjoyable. Sometimes you can be too tight that it's not enjoyable either, because I can't go in comfortably. I can't do anything without it hurting.
I'd rather have that.
Yeah, but you can start off.
No, because there was something and that just did not work. It was too tight. Couldn't. And beyond that, she was a gorgeous girl. She's like a dead chicken. It's like there's nothing to. I've never seen somebody so useless with as gorgeous as she is. I couldn't. That was dead. There was just. There was literally nothing. Like I expect different women will have different elasticity levels. I prefer a medium, so not too tight, not too loose.
Porridge.
Just right.
Is this actually facts? Like the more you have sex, the more you're
no.
It's not true.
So why are you saying expired pussy? Because you can have a natural one and just
because you have to say
people.
okay, cool.
There
might be some truth to it. Expired could mean you don't look after yourself enough to. It's just like if you don't train a muscle, what happens? It withers away.
Yeah, but
Right?
she's not having sex, and that's how it is.
You know what?
So are you telling me her natural is just wide?
Her natural might be tight. Her natural might be wide.
Is that not possible?
You saying she doesn't?
I can actually jump on this.
No. Like she doesn't train that area. Like you're saying hip thrust.
Yeah,
and
hip thrust, the
things.
toy. I'm gonna put the link down below.
But what I'm saying, but as much as people may train or whatever rubbish you may be saying, that might just be her natural vagina. Just like
there's no way you can have bucket pussy as a natural
but
vagina.
that might just be her natural vagina. And just jumping from the natural vagina, I think even us ladies were having a discussion about this yesterday. And this is actually quite educational. We don't know because basically I learned this a couple
Should
of
not be
years
able
ago.
to get more than three.
I learned this a couple
two
of years
to three
ago.
fingers.
Because people used to say, you know,
The
like
vagina is a muscle. You,
you know,
can
like-
get as many as you
So
You can
how
get
do you
fist
think
in
that-
there.
Yeah.
How do you think
But
that
anyway, carry on.
They
Carry on.
comes out
Fist
there.
the floor.
How do you think that head
Because I'm
came out?
trying to
Exactly.
jump.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
carry on.
Yeah, so what I was basically trying to say is, for example, like the clitoris, right?
Oh. Sorry.
Stop it! So, like, for example, a woman's vagina, is supposed to be. So basically, your clitoris. Hold on, let me put this so I can just.
Alrighty.
I'll take-
Class
use
is in
my hands.
session.
Sorry, I talk with my hands. So basically, you got the woman's vagina here, and basically, a natural vagina actually looks like this. So the clitoris is just like peeping out like this. That's how a
That's interesting.
That's basically our vagina. Hello. And our vagina supposed to look like. Yeah, there are vaginas that are like that. Do you understand?
It's
The ones
hanging
that
out.
out. Do you understand?
Wait,
Like
wait,
the-
wait.
the
No
one that
two-
pop
no
out.
two vaginas are the same.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but the thing is,
I'm gonna try
this
that.
is the issue. In porn, for example, women actually have surgery to have the vaginas like this. So basically, your clitoris is
It looks
inside,
more like
it's
entrance,
inside the
yeah.
lips, like this, like it's locked. So, for example, I don't mind. Like my one is always cold, so it's wrapped up in there. Yeah. Oh, it's too cold out there. So it's wrapped in there. But what I'm saying is, the minority of vaginas are actually the ones that the clitoris is actually
Inside.
in the we call
Can
the
I ask a
lips.
question?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
not?
it's
What
good.
I'm saying,
What are you saying, Ariel? Yeah, what are you
what I'm
saying?
trying to say is that women, no, because what I'm trying to say is that women, because we're talking about body, the fake image of women's bodies. So when you watch porn, a lot of young females or young women will see a
Shaved
vagina,
areas, yeah.
you
Like
see,
that and
like
think-
I mean,
that.
shaving
and
for me
think-
is-
do you understand? And think
it's
that they
necessary.
Look at their own and think,
I think
got
that
a
little bit of push.
guys, I'm talking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
God, and think that their vagina is not normal. For example, if you
Yes.
see a vagina with their clit hanging out, for example, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, your clit is out." That's actually how a vagina should actually look.
So it's meant to look like ham.
It's supposed to look a bit like that. Do you understand? It's
I-
supposed to look like that. A vagina, actually, the ones, the people that actually have the
I mean, what I would
vaginas.
say to that, I don't.
People
I
having
don't-
surgery.
I don't think that
Women
there is-
actually having
To get
surgery
the
vagina.
for the vagina, for the clit to go inside the.
I don't
the
think
lip.
that there is a normal way for a vagina to look. I think every vagina is different. The clit could be out, it could be inside. That's not the point. I have seen some, I've seen some girls who look like their pussy's perfect. They can't do shit with that thing. So it really doesn't matter where the clit, which
that's what
part
I'm
the
saying.
clit
When
is.
men,
I
that's
don't- I don't
good. That's
know.
good. That's what I'm saying. That's good.
We'll find the
But what
what's
I'm
under
saying,
the
as
hood.
men, the reason why I'm pointing this out, I'm not pointing out just for the sake of it, because as much as it sounds like it's nothing for men, women have a
yes.
self-conscious
Yes.
when they're around
That's true.
other women.
That's
that
very
when
true.
the vagina looks different from what they
But
normally
you don't
see,
stand
they
there
feel
looking at your
uncomfortable
vagina.
because they feel that their
Even
vaginas
around-
is not normal.
even
Or
around
man,
men,
I reckon they
because
might feel that.
they
And this is
feel
the
like
only
it's
reason
not
why I'm
normal.
highlighting this, just to basically say it's normal for you to have a vagina like that, because actually, funny enough, the minority of vaginas
Wait,
are the
so-
ones that actually are.
It's
So when you
normal
say
for
that
the
it's normal
flaps
for
to
the
be
flaps to be out.
uneven.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
normal
it's
for you to
normal.
not have flaps. It's
Do you
normal for
understand?
I'm not gonna lie.
That's what's
I'm not
portrayed
gonna
in
lie.
porn
I like
a
all
lot.
of
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some interesting, let's call it interesting specimens in that department. I'm talking like Michael now. Yes. And what I've discovered,
I don't understand.
and what I've discovered is you have ham roll. Have you seen the ham roll?
Wow.
You have lettuce,
Wow.
and then you have,
Okay.
I'm so
and then
lettuce.
and then what we have is for the clean one we have what we call beet salmon. Beet salmon. Beet salmon is the one that you talk about, the perfect clean.
But you see what he's saying?
Perfect,
Perfect,
clean.
clean. This is what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
And then people
when
are
you
wondering
see
why we're having this
lettuce,
talk
no, but
about
okay, but let's just talk on a pill thing. I get what you're saying.
And that's what I said, but people are self-conscious. Some women are
And then
self-conscious
clean
of that.
salmon.
Do you understand? And vagina should just be... and a
Just as
normal
much as
vagina should
men
look like
are,
that.
we are.
Actually have the abnormal one.
Like obviously, I don't understand. Do women actually sit around and say, "What did your?"
No.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we did it yesterday.
I
we
can't
did.
say to
But
Michael,
we didn't
"Is your-
look, no,
does
but
your
we didn't
thing
look
go?"
at it. But we didn't look
Is it
at
bent
vaginas.
left
Is
or
it a
right?
hook? Is it a striker? Is it turn? But there are some interesting,
I'm a midfielder.
dents.
We had a very healthy conversation.
It was healthy.
We didn't speak.
We're educating each other. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all.
I think it becomes very dangerous when we start saying
Hell
something.
yeah! If you say, "Yeah, Mike, what does your?"
Comes dangerous
Not that
from
that
what?
conversation. No guy around me will
You
ever
stand
ask
there in
me
the
that.
change room and say,
But-
"How's your gym session, man?"
But what I think it becomes very dangerous when we start making some type of any sexual organ normal
and
others
abnormal.
What, normalizing?
because
I hear you.
everybody,
It's very true.
just like
true.
women's breasts. Sometimes one is bigger than the other, or sometimes one goes to the side, and the same thing for guys. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes goes to the left, sometimes it goes to the. It is all normal.
But you learned
We
that
are
with
not
time,
all
didn't you?
supposed to be
There's no
the
such
same.
thing as
There's no
normal,
such
really.
right.
There's no
That's
such
the
thing
point
as
I'm
normal.
making.
I
There
think
is
with
no
age that came, yeah.
And when it comes to
Experience.
when it comes to sex, that should not. I have personally found it uncomfortable, and to the point of annoying. Where I'm cool with it, but girls are so uncomfortable and insecure about what
Their
they're
bodies.
presenting.
Stretch marks, things like that. Girls are.
Or like the
fussy.
size of their breast, or they don't want me to see the what maybe the flaps and stuff,
Yeah.
so they want to have sex with their lights off and all of that. No. If I want to do this now, clearly I'm cool with whatever you're presenting. Like this, we have proceeded to this point. And
Too grown.
But not every
whatever.
guy-
But every
whatever
guy's like
you're-
you, babe.
No.
Yeah.
Family, we have
Still matter at our age
No,
now.
let's not talk about
It's a
that.
body count problem. Like when it comes to sex, do you ask your
I have
person
never asked-
how many have you had
I've
before?
never asked the girl how
'Cause
many people she
I just
slept
feel at
with.
this age, why should it matter?
I've never asked the girl how many people she slept with because genuinely I don't want to know.
You don't.
Like for me, if I'm dealing with you on that kind of level, you're a virgin. Me and you are the only people in this world. I don't really care about where else.
No,
In this world,
Genuinely, I don't want to know. Any number will put me off. You can tell me 3 and I'll be put off.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to know nothing.
You
What-
prefer to keep it no.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm not gonna because so I'm gonna go a bit away from
Yeah, please stray
body
away from
count.
that.
Is in terms of like now that you or even when you become a parent, you're a parent as well. Do you feel that there's an importance of actually speaking to your children, even your teenage children, about sex? I'm not talking about the school sex education where like how my parents the period, like your menstrual cycle and don't have sex in this period because you'll get pregnant. I'm talking about if they are curious about their feelings and their bodies and like they want to have sex because
what
I feel
about
like
sexuality? Do you think is
oh that's going in a bit but yeah that is something else yeah
Nowadays it's
We
like
can
3-year-olds
bring that
like
in.
want a sex change. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
See,
yeah
Boy, I
But
don't. I am more than happy to have conversations about
just sex
about sex, right? So
Sex
would you have, would you
my-
have sex conversation with your daughters
my
for
daughter
example?
my daughter is at the point now where she's starting to grow breasts,
Yes,
and so her
exactly.
nipples are starting to hurt and things like that. And I don't make it embarrassing for her to tell me about it. I ask her about it. I'm like, how's that feeling? Or she would tell me, Daddy, my gine hurts, or it's itchy, or she's starting to grow hair, and little things like that. So I have those conversations with her and make it absolutely normal for her to be able to have those conversations with me. So we don't. And yes, we've had the conversations about kissing and boys and all of that kind of stuff. Of course, I will continue to engage with her as she gets older and seeks deeper knowledge about these sort of things.
You develop
I
with
think-
age, yeah.
absolutely.
The conversation.
But for me, as it pertains to sexuality, that's a deep one. Like
That's
how?
deep, that's
What am I gonna say? What daddy? Which parents wants to hear daddy? I want their daughter say daddy. I want to be a boy, or their
Yeah.
son say daddy. I want to be a
I
girl.
do-
But
I do
if
feel-
but if you tell me
she's
that-
more sensitive
Right, but if you tell me that,
Yeah.
my initial my response to that is not going to be okay. Well, let's go have a sex change. That's not going to be my response. Clearly, there is something that is making you feel insecure within your body, and that's where I'm going to try to tackle. And so,
I think
I have no
As a
experience with
mother
dealing
of
with
two boys,
this
I
subject,
think-
but
As a mother of two boys, I think it's hard for me to even sometimes think about having the sex talk with them. Like, it just gives me a lump in my throat. I'm just like, oh my God. I think,
I feel
as
like,
much
I
as
feel like
open-
for boys it'll be easier for me though.
see, as a mum to the boys though, I just feel that I want to be able to do it, but I don't know how deep I'll be able to go. I feel like I'll maybe ask the dad
Why?
or another guy to go to the deeper bit.
I think you can go as deep
I
as
don't
you
know.
want.
I don't know. I think that's just me and my own uncomfortability because they're my little boys, and I just don't want to be talking about
big boys soon.
I know, and the thing is, I will know that they get older and they will do it and whatsoever. But I don't know. For me, I just feel like there's a little bit of.
Because how old are they now?
5 and 7.
Oh,
so
6 and 7.
7-year-old is already getting bonus.
Oh yeah, I think I'd said on a previous ep.
Yeah, you did.
One of them talked about their he called it his twinkle was moving when they were talking about kissing.
Yeah.
So even that alone, I could have crashed the car. I was like, what? And he was only 5, and I was just like, oh no. So I don't know. For me, hopefully, when it comes to that time, I'll definitely be able to talk about it, but I just don't know how deep I can go. I just don't know about the depth.
I feel like you know, especially about this sexuality thing, and even as it pertains to, you know, sexual orientations and things like that. I just feel like the society now just pushes a lot of agenda, I feel, because growing up as a kid, I was raised by my mum, right? So for a certain stage of my life, all I was seeing was wigs and lipsticks and all of that. As a 7-8-year-old boy, I would wear my mum's heels and put lipsticks
so many
on.
boys that did that.
Yeah, I did that.
I say, hi, my name
but
is...
You see, I don't know about all of that, but I did. But you know, I put the lipstick on and wigs and all of that, right? Not because I am gay. It was just I have seen mummy do it all the damn time, and you just want to do it for fun, and you wear. See, but in this day and age, people would immediately preclude you to be of a certain sexual orientation when you do that. I feel like it's dangerous because
I think that's because everybody wants you. I think, let's say, the hierarchies want there to be a place of belonging. You could be as expressive and as, you know, flamboyant as you want to be, right? Like, obviously, every man has that fear of talking to their daughters or their children about their sexuality, as, you know, being, okay, for example, I'm a straight guy. If my daughter got, you know, I would normally say, God forbid, but if my daughter now came to me and said, Daddy, I don't think I'm attracted to men. Any man would just be, or any parent would first and foremost panic because it's a lack of understanding. I think when you don't understand something you naturally just panic. With a continuously evolving world and circumstances, things evolve, people change, chemical imbalances change, you know, things of the norm are not norm anymore. Everything's just constantly on the spin.
Norms,
And I could say one of my deepest fears was that situation, you know, of my child telling me they're gay, you know. And it was not because I particularly hate gay people, it's because I had no understanding of what it is.
So you don't know how to handle.
And furthermore, it's also down a lot to a form of comfortability and a mental satisfaction on their part. Some people are born, like, you know, some people are born with complexes about themselves. Some people are born in the wrong bodies. But it's all about kind of letting them ride out that situation to see if that's what they really want. I would never push, like you said, everyone's pushing an agenda or agree or disagree. All I can do is support.
Yes.
That's
Do you understand?
Yeah, but that's it.
And try to be as understanding within reason. You know, like obviously things like cutting off genitals and stuff like that would have to be discussed because I would have to tell them the complications. You know, I would have to now imply my traditions and my beliefs and see where we're at.
But as a parent, I wouldn't even, I think I will probably block cutting genitals off and doing all sex changes and all
But
that.
it happens.
I won't even let you consider that until you're at least 18.
That's what I'm saying. So you give them a time.
Jumping from what Terry was basically trying to, because I know that we're now moving into a very other.
No, we can go in and out.
I didn't want to like kind of have to go back from jumping from what Terry initially was saying about children and so forth. And the reason why I was mentioning about sex talk with your children is that I don't want to go again too deep into it in terms of like, you know, when you're talking about children mimicking behavior, now we are now exposed so much to sex. Children are exposed so much to just sensual sexualities on TV.
Music videos.
Even it's even in cartoons. Everything is so sexualized now, like, and so forth. Yeah, it's not how when we grew up. We grew up much more innocent to a certain extent in terms of what children are being exposed to. So now I just feel that there's been loads of situations. So you guys know that I work, you know, with young people and so forth. And there's been situations where children, when they were younger, they're mimicking what they see in porn sites. For example, all you have to put is sex, and Pornhub will come up. You know, and these are not and I know parents sometimes don't know how to put, the restrictions.
The parental guidance.
Exactly, because everyone has a phone now, and even when they can go to their cousin's house and their cousin might, and everything's just exposed now. So they're seeing things that they should never be exposed to at that age. So now so might not even be sexually aware of themselves, but because they're seeing something, they might then try it. Do you get what I mean? And I feel that because of this exposure, as parents in nowadays, we have to start having conversation with our children earlier on than we used to, like beforehand, because they're being exposed to so much. Because what will happen, but what may happen, is that children will then take it upon themselves and they might see something on, I don't know, Pornhub or something, and start acting it out with either family members, friends,
or somebody who offers to do it with them.
Or something to do it over. It might not even be. Also, when it comes to adults, because we have to talk about child molestation, that's a different subject altogether, because that's about, we touched about, teaching your child to make sure that, this is your private part, no one should be touching that. Like even washing, and make sure that my daughter knows how to wash herself, things like that. Do you get what I mean? But then when it comes, we don't speak about children within themselves, kind of seeing things and mimicking. And if we're not having these conversations with children, they're going to end up in crazy situations. Because I had one case I used to work on many years ago, where a young girl kissed a girl that was 2 years younger than her, because she wanted to know what kissing was. She was, I think at that time, she was 13 and the girl was like 9, so she was quite a few years younger than her, or 10 or something. But she kissed the girl to find out, what is kissing? And she experimented, and then it became this massive thing. And then the child became very demonized because she tried to kiss another child. And the thing is, no one took that time out to actually educate that child and actually speak to that child. She automatically became demonized. She done that and kissed another child, and they were the same sex.
Yeah, we do.
But I'm saying we just have to be aware of these things and really start learning to educate.
I think there's also an area that I want to touch on quite quickly. It is important for us as parents to kind of take authority over the education in terms of, especially with the sex area. But it's also the government's responsibility to make sure that it's governed properly, because it's like a business at the end of the day. Everything has
its purpose.
Kids being exposed to porn, being exposed to this, it's for a purpose, because everything works in a systematic.
And that's why we have to be more
so we have to be more the anchor,
more proactive than the government.
More proactive, exactly.
The anchor. For example, now, some people would say that there is a now more of a push of gay TV. There's there's now more of a push on it, and some people would say it's more to kind of control populations, because if you now make a lot of males more gay, then there's a cut in population there because of food supply. You could go on and on.
Some people may argue, say it's equality.
It could be argued. It could be inequality. Yeah. There's a lot of it involved in it. So I just think like at such an age like that, we have to be the anchor to pull down certain things, not accept it like Michael said, and give them an opportunity to ask as much questions, do as much as possible.
The taboo subjects that we don't want to speak about.
Even the difference now from like when we were back in school, if someone got fingered, you were called everything under the sun. Like, she was nasty. How could she get fingered? He did it behind the tree. Education. Now, like my sister's 18. Some of the things she told me, her and her friend, not her, but sorry, because she would never tell me about her, would she? But her friends are doing. I'm like, wow, you guys are like, you have advanced, because do you know what I mean? So. Some of us, like me, my first kiss with tongues was in year 7, and for me that was a big thing. I went home, I wrote in my diary the date and who it was with.
Your diary?
Yeah, I had my little diary, and there was like 5 people watching and cheering us on. Like, it was such a big deal. Whereas
you gave a show.
Yeah, honestly, it was so cute at the time. I don't know, cute, but now kids are doing that from
kids are exploring
primary school and stuff like that. So we have to evolve with the time.
I didn't even start doing things. To be fair, I got into sexual stuff very late. Anyway, I didn't start doing that until I was like 17. I was so shy. It's so mad. Like, I was so shy.
What had happened?
Wowza.
What happened now?
I'm still shy. Thank you very much. I'm a good boy. But yeah, it took me time. I did not know much about much, and it was just one of those areas that I wanted to absolutely stay away from for as long as possible. And I had a girlfriend when I was 17, and for 3 months we didn't. I think we probably just had a kiss on the cheek or something.
Holding hands was
Like,
a biggie, innit?
we were in college.
Yeah.
We didn't have sex until like 3 months down the line into the relationship. And we were both scared to make the first move. It wasn't going to be me, but I was taking my time. So looking back from then to now, you have 11, 12, 10-year-olds doing a madness who knows so much about things that we weren't exposed to.
Yes.
Like it's absolutely mad. Like back then, even with the accessing porn and all of that, like AOL and all of those other internet providers, they had restrictions where you couldn't where you couldn't easily access these things. You'd have to get, you know, you'd have to get, you know, the Sun and look at page 3. That was as close to you know, nudity as you're gonna get.
Now they'd be popping up, popping up for fun.
Even adverts,
So,
you know when you
go to any bootleg site, any bootleg site to watch download.
That's the first thing.
It's mad.
But in saying that as well, I feel like sometimes, obviously, I'm talking from adults' perspective in terms of us talking to our younger, when I say children, talking about cousins, sisters, like young people that are also around us, because sometimes I work with young people that get very demonized in terms of their sexual behavior. For example, and we don't understand why they behave the way that they behave. So she'll be sleeping around with boys, she'll be, you know, giving oral sex, and then so now she's now being almost labelled as the skit, you know, of the school.
She's a troubled kid seeking love.
100%. And this is what I'm trying to say. Remember, children don't understand that. So children automatically, then bullying comes. It's almost like she then, once that label's on her, she's now going to start even living more up to that label.
Absolutely.
And so this toxic cycle continues, and then she ends up in an abusive relationship. And unfortunately ends up with, you know, like a lot of women, you know, and drugs and da-da-da and so forth. And when we don't have, so for example, so we are having conversations about when you're, for example, your cousin or your sister comes in, oh yeah, this is girl, she's a scared, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I get what people, I get how they're perceiving it, because even sometimes even us adults might call another woman, oh, she a hoe. You know what I mean? But I feel like sometimes we have to be, at that point, have that discussion with them,
you know,
because we don't know
thing.
Why they, because one of the girls, for example, that, you know, many years ago, they used to work with, the reason why she was acting out that way is because she was sexually abused.
Right. So for me, this is the thing. Naturally, my instinct, I'm a father, I like to coach and guide people. My natural instinct is to come in and have a conversation, a deeper conversation, to get to the root of the issue. But even now, you have to be sensitive talking with kids about sex who is not my kid, because you see what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
So now there is that other issue, because there was a kid who I came into contact with recently who I knew was very troubled, and I wanted to have this deep conversation with. But it was
you couldn't.
But I
You don't know whether it's your place
I
or
don't
not.
have
The restrictions
I don't
instead.
have the authority to have this conversation with a female kid who is not my child, and me as a grown-up adult coming to, do you know what I'm saying? So,
and as a man as well.
and as a man as well. So it's a very difficult subject to approach, especially when you're dealing with kids who are not your children or under your authority.
So in a situation like that, what do you think is the best way forward? Because
I have no idea. Because this situation is still lingering, but I can't.
Is it someone you personally
It's
know?
somebody whose parents I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So it's difficult, and how you go to somebody's parents and try to tell them.
And this is why I feel like the community needs to really be educated. There's so many charities, so many youth organizations that deal with specific, about teaching young girls self-confidence and self-respect and self-love.
Right.
And I think, like, for example, if in your shoes, it's only because I know it, but I feel like it should be more teachable to everyone, because in that situation, I'll say just maybe refer her to a place. I'll say, you know what, I think you really should speak to this person from this.
What are some of those charities? I know of now.
So a lot of them are like local organisations, like within the local government. So it depends.
They're not funded so well.
Do you have names? Do you have names
for example,
that you can throw out there?
There's mine.
Put some under,
Yeah. We can put some because there's quite a few. So they, I'll do
she'll send the links out.
So some are within your local government, and there are some that are independent. Right. And also local government are obviously they're funded by the government, so it's free access. Where usually private tend to maybe need.
And then local government what?
Intervention. So they're like, it might be like a youth club that actually runs girls' workshops, for example.
Okay, I see.
And people that work that have like youth clubs are forever trying to reach out to the community and going to schools and reaching out to any youth provision, any other youth provision that are out. They're going to people's homes and and so forth, and so they can get these young people to come in because there will be people that will be delivering these type of workshops within, like in youth clubs. And there are other charities as well that do it. I think we just really need to. But you can even Google it. To be honest with you, if you actually just take your time to just Google it and basically say what's out there in her local area, for example. Even goes for example, let's say for example, obviously I'm from Newham, and you put newham.gov.uk, it will come up loads of just come up, and then you just access it. And you just research really.
If you need help,
and you feel like she really needs it, then that will be my advice. If you can't personally approach anything they say it's an issue. But yeah.
Interesting stuff. Well, on that note.
Family, we have channel. Follow the Two Grown Instagram page and tag your travel buddies